Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and skip ahead. We're going to live video from the press conference outside of
The coalition of media interveners that intervened in here to interject the public's right of access to the warrant application and the materials attached to that warrant, most specifically the probable cause affidavit that would have been attached to that paperwork.
Can you give us kind of the highlights of what happened today?
Sure. The government, the DOJ, had agreed to release certain materials prior to today's hearing, so Judge Reinhart took care of that off the top. First and foremost, he agreed with the government that the search warrant motion to seal the search warrant and the order on that motion should be released. For those of you who are interested in receiving it, that is at docket 57 in the case, and it should, if not already, has been unsealed. It will be unsealed today without objection from the DOJ. The main area of concern today was the probable cause affidavit and the application for the search warrant. These are probably very voluminous documents that supported the government's request for the search warrant that you have now probably all seen. That application and its associated probable cause affidavit lays out the government's case and position as to why the search warrant should be executed. So it generally will describe the nature and scope of the investigation, the nature and scope of the records sought by the government, and of course go over the details that justify taking the incredible step of issuing and executing a search warrant at the home of a former president. So that was the subject of today's hearing. There is a standard in constitutional and common law of Florida that says it is the government's burden to justify keeping that under seal. And of course, that was the subject of today's hearing. Can the government meet that burden? Can they show, for example, that releasing certain information contained in those materials would justify or severely impede the investigation, would cause the revelation of confidential informants or confidential witnesses, or somehow so hinder the investigation as to jeopardize the safety and security of it. So that was the gist of today's hearing.
So how do you feel about the outcome following today's hearing? Do you feel pretty positive now that next week,
It seems that the DOJ has 1 week to present a redacted version of the affidavit to the judge.
Ruin continuity for all of you?
No, it's fine. No,
Okay. Okay. All right. I feel good about today's hearing. Judge Reinhart seems to have a very good sense that it is his job as the gatekeeper in this case to perform his function of balancing the interest in the public of accessing these materials against the interest in the government in keeping them secret. Judge Reinhart gave us some clues to that today by telling us, for example, that at this juncture he is not inclined to keep the entirety of the search warrant application and its affidavit under seal, meaning that he understands that the public is going to likely be entitled to some parts of this warrant application and its affidavit. He will consider redactions proposed by the Department of Justice, which are due to him August 25th. He will accept any briefing of the Department of Justice on those redactions. He will review those materials, and he will enter an order specifying what information, if any, will remain sealed and inaccessible to the public.
What is your response to the government's argument saying that following these redactions that are made, there may be nothing substantial left behind?
Well, I think Mr. Tobin made the right response there. It is up to the public to determine what is meaningful in this investigation. Certainly, Florida has had its share of high-profile investigations. We've lived through Casey Anthony. We've lived through George Zimmerman. We know what redacted court files look like, and we know how to make meaning of them. So if the court is inclined to issue a document with just the first line redacted or unredacted, then that's what we get. And it's up to the public and through its surrogate, all of you, to figure out what the meaning is behind that. But it is not the government's job to tell the public what is meaningful in terms of the release of its own information.
What is your response to the argument that some of the witnesses' accounts are so specific that they would be basically outed or identified by virtue of the fact that
Baby!
Judge Reinhart is
This was the hearing to release the affidavit in the Trump FBI search.
Interveners want to jeopardize the safety or security of a confidential informant.
It looks like the judge will, he's given the DOJ 1 week to present to him a redacted version of the affidavit, and then he will rule on whether it will be released next Thursday.
It is very common in these situations that information that would lead to the disclosure of their identity is kept secret. However, it is important to note that simply saying somebody works for a particular agency is not sufficient. Perhaps saying their title, their post, the number of years they've been in position, and other identifiers may get us there, but the generic fact that there are confidential informants working with the government is not something that I would think is subject to protection.
Can you explain what was unsealed today, and if we're going to get anything new from that?
Today, you're probably not going to get anything new from it. But what was unsealed is the motion to seal the search warrant, which you all have the underlying search warrant, and the order on the motion to seal the search warrant. I would expect the motion to be fairly generic in describing that we have a search warrant, Your Honor, that we would like you to seal, and I would expect the order to be fairly generic. We agree that your search warrant should be sealed.
Anyone mention the waning credibility of the FBI?
Nobody mentioned the waning credibility of the FBI specifically. However, Mr. Tobin did make the argument that this is a proceeding that's about the credibility of all the players. So whether the judge is doing his job, whether
What idiotic right-wing outlet asked that question?
Access proceedings and why the public is entitled to access.
The waning credibility of the FBI.
Affairs of our government at all levels. And that is the interest
What
in this
bullshit.
essence that we were asserting today.
Did the DOJ offer any clues as to what could be in that affidavit today?
They didn't offer clues as to what's in that affidavit in particular, but they did tell us that it includes a roadmap for the investigation as it stands right now. It explains the scope and breadth of that application, or that investigation, excuse me, and it has a number of confidential informants and witnesses whose ongoing participation may be jeopardized by the...
Right-wingers are absolute fucking morons.
Describe the categories of information in the search warrant, and that's why it's very important for Judge Reinhart to look specifically at the search warrant affidavit in light of those, in light of those statements that those types of categories are included in the materials.
To clarify, once they've come back with what we want, what we say can be redacted, is that automatically released, or does the judge still have to say, look, we're going to...
Oh, he's still got to rule on that.
Just reading an article that characterizes it.
And the DOJ has to justify their redactions to him.
For those of you who are not inside the court hearing, Judge Reinhart actually put forth a procedure that he's going to use in this case. So August 25th, the government will propose its redactions, the search warrant application, and its affidavit. They can also file a brief at that time explaining why they are requesting the redactions. At that point, Judge Reinhart will review the requested redactions and review the documents, and he'll make a decision. If he agrees with the government, he'll enter an order agreeing with the government, and we will get whatever it is that the government and he have determined should be released. If he disagrees with the government's requested redactions, Judge Reinhart is the ultimate decision maker here. So he will enter an order disagreeing with the government's redactions, but give the government time to appeal that order before he releases the search warrant and its affidavit. Because, of course, if he didn't do that and it became public, the government would essentially lose its right to appeal.
You're
So
still
if he
stupid.
agrees with the government's redactions, he will give the government
Ben Jerome.
before he releases
What
the
a
warrant
stupid fucking name.
for the public.
So as far as timeline, when do you think we would actually see whatever is going to be released?
It's really hard to determine. In these access cases, they tend to take a fast track. I was actually pleased to see the Department of Justice say they only needed a week
I thought you
to
ran,
submit
like, these
their
are the
redactions.
type
That
of
was
razor
very
blades I use.
kind of them. Oftentimes we see a much longer period. I think Judge Reinhart understands the public interest in these materials, so I think he'll make a swift decision. I'm not going to hold him to a certain time frame because I just don't know. And then if there is an appeal,
The lone survivor, welcome.
members of the public and press pushing for an expedited appellate review system so that the public can have access to whatever it is that the court is going to rule we can have access to rather quickly. In some, it won't be months, but it won't be a week or two either. Anybody else?
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Name one more time, sorry.
Deanna Schulman, D-E-A-N-N-A. Schulman, S-H-U-L-L-M-A-N. Schulman Fugate, West Palm.
speak Spanish by any chance?
Not well enough to be on air. I read it and write it.
No bueno.
Well enough, sorry.
She no bueno with the Spanish.
Thank you. Is that everyone? Yeah, that's
I didn't catch which organization she was. It was some like citizen watchdog group that covers court hearings. So what this was the hearing about the release of the affidavit in the Trump FBI search Vampire Hunter D.
Oh, I don't know, actually. I wouldn't recognize Christina if I saw her. So
I wouldn't touch Trump. I'd be afraid of the diseases I caught.
No attorney argued on behalf of Mr. Trump at today's hearing.
If the Department of Justice goes forward with criminal charges, will that change the timeline for the affidavit to be released? Because that's a different matter.
Cicero, this was the hearing to release the Trump FBI raid affidavit.
It's not unusual.
Raid. It was a search.
Filed for the government to be willing to release more materials and the courts to be willing to do that as well. But please keep in mind in this investigation, we don't exactly know who the potential indictees or arrestees are. I mean, we shouldn't assume that it's President Trump. It may be others. It may include him, but it may also be others. And so even if we see an arrest come down, it doesn't necessarily mean that the investigation is concluded at that time.
And so that wouldn't change maybe the decision by
Time will tell, yeah. We don't know the breadth of the investigation. That's the problem. So,
how meaningful it is by the fact that DOJ had Mr. Brad being the one that presented the case and not Mr. Gonzalez, which is the DA for the Florida district.
I mean, I love Tony. I've worked with him for a number of years on these types of matters. I think the DOJ is taking this very seriously and wanting to send in some of its senior officials so that, you know, the public is aware that the DOJ finds this investigation to be important at the highest levels.
So you mentioned
Free breather. What about the Fourth Amendment? I'm a huge fan. A lot of right-wingers love to bring up the Second Amendment, but the Fourth and Fifth Amendments are the most important to me. To me.
No, that's just a filing. So for those of you who follow like the court beat, you'll just see sealed docket entries.
Well, Ben Jerome, you're a fucking idiot, so, you know, who cares what you think?
See one or two docket entries.
As a conservative, it's getting harder and harder to not look like a kook.
meetings privately?
I don't understand. How am I a hypocrite, free breather?
Consultation to try to figure out those line by line.
They seem to have decided at this juncture.
I'm interested. How am I a hypocrite? I don't have to be nice. In case you haven't noticed, this is my channel. I own my means of production. Therefore, I can tell you to go fuck yourself. I can call you names. I can do whatever I want to do. Evidence for what? What do you want evidence for? I don't know. You can't just come into the chat and just say random things. You gotta like be specific. I'll give you evidence. What you need evidence for? Freedom of speech and whatnot. I don't know. Some dude on Twitter accused me of shutting people down I disagree with. I was like, that's really weird because I do a political talk show and I let a dumb fuck right-winger rant for 43 minutes last night. 43 minutes. I am not a Democrat. I am way further left than the Democrats. But I caucus with the Democrats, basically. Free breather, you can't just come into a president's mansion and search it without evidence. You're correct. They had evidence. They convinced a judge that they had evidence. That's why you're stupid. Because you're saying something that just doesn't make sense, right? You can't just go into somebody's house and search it without evidence. That's why there was a warrant. You're trying to make the claim that there was no due process when all the due process was followed. It doesn't work that way, free breather. That's how courts work. There's a whole process you got to go through. You don't just get to go, hey, DOJ, let me see what you got. You can't just demand. Do you guys know how our fucking justice system works? That's why I get so upset with the right-wingers. All of my arguments with you guys just basically boil down to you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You don't know how the court systems works. You don't know how our government works. So therefore, like, I get really upset with you guys, and I just have to break down and call you fucking morons. Well, Ben Jerome, I do the news every night at 8 o'clock, and we do indeed cover more important news than this. I have read the Constitution, motherfucker. What about the Constitution am I getting wrong? I would love to know. Yeah, just the fact that the FBI executed the raid means that they had enough evidence to prove to a judge. What about the Fourth Amendment, you dumb motherfucker? All due process was followed. You're making an argument that doesn't comport with reality because you're a fucking idiot. Do you see how this works? Oh, this is why I get so upset with right-wingers. You will in due time, motherfucker. You don't just get to be like, hey, DOJ, show me everything you got, because they are presenting a case in a court of law. Go watch some fucking Law and Order, and you would have a better comprehension of how this shit works. Yes, these people are very blind to reality, Yelra. That's why before Rush Limbaugh died, he said,
As a conservative, it's getting harder and harder to not look like a kook.
because you guys are fucking stupid. I wish you people could feel embarrassment. Learn to feel embarrassment. I feel embarrassment for you. If I came in and said something so blatantly fucking stupid and got shot down that quickly, I wouldn't open my cocksucker again. But you guys are just gluttons for punishment. You must be some kind of sub that wants us to just fucking whip you and whip you and whip you. Fuck! Start calling me daddy and telling me to put my boots on your nuts. Fuckers. God damn. But the FBI didn't raid anybody without due process, you stupid fuck. That's what this court hearing is about. It's due process. You people are just saying nonsense. Ben Jerome, you're a fucking idiot. 80% of left-wingers are delusional and overly sensitive. First of all, you probably don't even know what a left-winger is. You probably couldn't properly define someone who is on the left. I'm talking about how could any person on the left even say that out loud right now, considering what's happened after they got the bad guy out. What the fuck? Did you think that sentence made sense? Did you think that was an intelligent comment? Because it wasn't. It was fucking stupid. And that's all I ever hear from you people. What secret courts, motherfucker? You're standing outside of the court. Like, this is we are seeing the fucking federal court. You just watched a woman who was in there. Okay, federal courts don't allow cameras. That's why you couldn't see the proceedings. But that was a reporter who was in there in the fucking courtroom. She came out and told you exactly what happened. Because it was open to the public, you dumb fucks. Because that's not a secret court. You guys just keep saying things that are butt fucking stupid. Why wouldn't I believe her? You believe any dumb shit you read on the internet, fuck. You believe anything that backs up whatever your preconceived notion of reality. I suck dick. Are you going to tell me I'm homophobic? I suck dick.
You live in sexual anarchy?
Got your cocksucker. How am I confused? Makes idiotic argument. I'm just completely clueless by how you still can't even accept you're, by the way, possessive you're. Not you are, which is what he actually meant. A stupid fuck that doesn't know how to spell a 4th grade word is trying to tell me what's up. Oh, I love it. Apparently left wing equals everybody is equal and teach kids crap. That's what left wing means. Sky Comet, what's going on? Allow me to catch you up. We were outside of the federal courthouse in Florida where they were holding a hearing about releasing the affidavit in the FBI search of Mar-a-Lago. A judge ruled that the DOJ has 1 week to produce a document with redactions, and if the judge agrees with those redactions, he will release that document next week. That will happen next Thursday. The judge does have the discretion to go back and unredact things, redact other things, but it seems like the judge is in favor of releasing as much information as possible as to not hamper the investigation, which is weird because we got idiotic right-wingers in the chat talking about secret court. We're reporting on what happened today in a secret court where I can tell you exactly what the judge ruled. It's the dumbest fucking thing. These people are complete and total morons. But I love keeping you guys around. I mean, you just keep taking the abuse from me. As I said, start saying daddy, put your boots on my balls when you say your stupid little right-wing comments. What the fuck about gender dysphoria? You guys are obsessed with trans people. I am convinced. You jack off to trans porn and then you feel dirty because you have been fucking convinced by society that there's something wrong with it. So then you lash out at the trans people. It's fucking horrible. Go see a psychiatrist. Deal with your issues. Or maybe you got a little penis and you've got your own issues with your masculinity. But either way, stop attacking innocent trans people. Fuck. What the fuck is wrong with you? It's all projection from idiot-ass right-wingers. Yeah, Yelra, apply that to yourself. You're susceptible to being a sheep. Fucking critically think about your position. Apply the standard that you want to apply to all the so-called liberal positions to your own positions. Really evaluate what you're saying. And like constantly, you guys talk about they want people pitted against each other, but you never want to come together with us. I had a caller last night that was talking about why can't we come together? We do come together. That's what being a leftist is about. It's about using collective action to institute change. You guys don't want to come together. When you say come together, you mean capitulate to your side where you do stupid shit. You want to be able to say stupid shit and not be called out on it. You want to believe moronic fucking, like the dude last night kept talking about mask mandates, vaccines and shit. And I told him, I'm like, hey, what do you do for a living? He's like, computer science. And I was like, well, if a virologist came in to your computer lab where you're coding or whatever the fuck you do and started telling you how to code, you would think he was a fucking dumbass, wouldn't you? And that's the way people should treat you. When you try to talk about virology or epidemiology, because you have no idea what you're talking about. Ray, welcome. Let me say hey to everybody. We were doing a special stream because of the hearing in Florida, but then we got some right-wing assholes in here, and I had to put them in their place. And this has just been fun. Since then, I've just been doing my thing, owning the chuds. Phoebe, Sky Comet, Ray, love you guys so much. Ari, I missed you. They kiss Trump's rings and run around calling everyone else sheep. Exactly. Sky Comet, did I say hey to you? I love your face. I hope your face isn't a sunburn anymore. I mean, the Democratic Party has always been, you know, it's a big tent party with a lot of coalitions. It's always going to be, you know, I don't think they're at war with each other, but there is friction. Well, we've only been on for about 27 minutes, and like, how much longer am I going to get entertainment out of these stupid chuds? That's what it's all about right now. Good, I'm glad it turned into a tan for you. Love your tan face. What have I got in the meme well I can pull out? Oh, I didn't get to use this one last night. I had it up. Not particularly a meme. A post that's funny. Lauren Boebert deleting her text from January 6th. Using whiteout on her phone. Why is that funny? Because right-wingers are absolute morons. I was actually starting to get ready for the show that, if any of you are new here, the actual Troll Patrol comes on at 8 p.m. Eastern. We do the nightly news, but every now and again we'll pop on with a special report. I was actually starting to put together the show for this evening. Gonna talk about Alan Weisselberg pleading guilty. Michelle Walensky's shakeup at the CDC. We're gonna talk about a judge's ruling in the Alex Jones defamation case in Connecticut. And more. I don't exactly know what else is going on. As I said, I haven't started exactly putting everything together for the show. We'll see what else is going on come 7:30 tonight. Mr. Maynard, what are you doing, buddy? He has been the most loving cat today. It's been very weird. Oh, well, that's fun. The Biden administration planning for the end of the COVID shot. Dr. Oz says he was exhausted when he made the crudité shopping trip. Oh, apparently a Republican lawmaker realized the consequences of his actions. Always love stories like that. Trump advisors call out Kimberly Guilfoyle as one of the biggest grifters in the former president's orbit. That makes perfect sense. Do we want to do financial news tonight? No financial news tonight. The WWE board finds former executive made $5 million in unreported contributions to Trump Foundation. Vince McMahon funneled $5 million to Donald Trump. And yet more breaking news in the ongoing Vince McMahon legal scandal. Yeah, Ray, you only missed some transphobia. Why do I feel the need to call right-wingers morons? Well, I call them morons because they are absolute fucking morons. Like, you guys never know what the fuck you're talking about. So if we engage in a conversation, it's just going to end up that you don't know what you're talking about, and that I'm just going to break down and call you a moron. It happens every time. I've yet to have a right-winger prove me wrong. Would you like to attempt it, Yelra? Would you like to call in? Would you like to get in the Discord? We can make that happen for you. Maybe you're already in the Discord. Let me go check. Nope, nobody there. Nobody there. Knock, knock. Let's open up the phone lines just in case you're feeling froggy and you want to jump. 917-830-4359. Thought I had a message from an idiot-ass right-winger, but I did not. I thought that would be cool. Dude, you don't get free speech in my chat. It's my channel. You don't have free speech here. That's not what free speech means. Once again, right-wingers are fucking morons. Don't understand what they're talking about. Speech should always be free. No, motherfucker. I keep having these arguments with right-wingers on Twitter. They don't understand that, for example, you're on Twitch. Amazon owns Twitch. Amazon owns the servers. I don't have a right to be on their servers. They provide me that service, and there's an exchange there. This is called the free market. This is a capitalist interaction. So what you are upset about is Twitch, YouTube, Google, whatever fucking platform you're upset about. You're upset about them asserting control over what they own, which is literally the definition of capitalism. If you are a capitalist, then you can't tell a private company what to do with their server. Oh, thank you. I love candy corn. Ooh, she got candy. She is in Halloween mode, and it's still August. I've got Halloween Kit Kat here. The fucker, like, you're just blah, 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 blah. I'm tired of getting upset. Blah, 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 blah. What the fuck are you talking about? Who's overly sensitive? Do I look overly sensitive to you? I literally do a show called The Troll Patrol where, like, I let right-wingers say whatever the fuck they want. How are we overly sensitive? You know, there's a difference between you being censored for your political speech and you just being timed out because you're making the community worse. You might be running off people who are fans of mine with your bullshit. Do you understand? That's what community moderation is about. Not everybody wants to hear your stupid ass. While I enjoy it, and I'll sit here and argue with you all day long because I'm a masochist like that. Sadist? Masochist? I don't fucking know. I like inflicting pain on right-wingers, but they don't fucking feel it. So I don't know how that's me being sensitive at all. I want to save my Kit Kat talk and have some milk. Milk and chocolate. There's no such thing as free speech on it. There is... You have to abide by Twitch's terms of service set by Amazon. And then there is another layer where it's my channel and then I get to set the rules beyond that. So there is no free speech. Like, you guys fundamentally don't understand the concept. If you weren't allowed to go start your own website and host your own content, if the government prevented you from being able to register a domain and host your own content, then you might have an argument about your speech being violated. But you don't. And here's the thing, is I really do. I advocate for free speech. If you don't know the name Steven Donziger, then you have never advocated for free speech, and you need to shut the fuck up and sit down. Hey, Ben Jerome, there's a strong correlation between you and being a dumb fuck. You people crack me up. Bruh, what? Exactly. They don't understand the just the idiocy they spew. I actually have had right-wingers give me a good argument, but like it's been very rare, and it was like in philosophy class in college. I'm responding to Yell Rose comment from a couple minutes ago that I didn't see. You do, though, seem kind of insecure or something, because by your understanding, you never had a right-winger give a good argument ever, which is literally the dumbest thing of all time, just like it would be if it was vice versa. No, just the general right-winger that I meet online is a complete fucking idiot. I have had people that were of a more conservative bent. As I said, it was like in college. Because, like, let me tell you, like, you fucks aren't smart enough to make intelligent arguments. Yeah, you guys just say the same shit over and over again. I got really upset with my caller last night just because, like, he's just repeating the same shit I play every night from Steven Crowder and Ben Shapiro and Charlie Kirk and the whole list of right-wing dumb fucks. Like, I could just listen to them. They're more entertaining than he was. So if he's not going to give me anything that's not the same, just right-wing fucking garbage, why the fuck would I have him on? Yelra, what you just did is created a straw man, because I'd never said that I was basing people's intelligence on going to college. Never said that at all. You guys love fallacious arguments. And hey, if you were to go to college and actually like get a good liberal arts degree, you would probably learn how to critically think and be taught the fucking logical fallacies and not say such stupid fucking shit. Dumbass motherfuckers. Also, I want to save my candy corn from when I have milk. I couldn't help myself. She stood here in front of me. She gave me a whole dish of candy corn. She's had the pumpkin spice creamer out for like weeks now. Seriously, they're like, I get so tired of them. They're constantly playing victims, and then they're always saying the left plays victims. You don't know what liberal arts degree means, do you? I couldn't get a job with a liberal arts degree. You don't even know what liberal arts is, do you? Tailgate candy corn. I assume she didn't just like stop and buy candy corn out of somebody's like fucking. Was it like a white van you got candy corn from? Yeah, she got candy corn from a white van on the side of the road. I kind of need to pee, but like these right wingers are fun. I'm having fun. She's giving me the side eye over here. That's good candy corn too. I've never seen a kind with a little pumpkin. Yeah, that's new to me. I always just get the. Isn't it just like autumn? I was trying to think of the name brand. I can't even think of them. Brock's, yeah, Brock, yeah, that's usually the candy corn I get. Yeah. There you go, denoting my intelligence again. But once again, right wingers are the aggressors and the intolerant ones. Yeah, you're stupid. You are stupid. Would you like to prove it? Yelra, I will have a conversation with you. I will treat you with the utmost respect. Hop in the Discord or give us a phone call, please. Prove to me that right-wingers aren't morons. Now, I will give you a ample opportunity, 5-10 minutes, before I start calling you a moron when you start saying moronic shit, you know? You say moronic shit, you're going to get called a moron. That's my free speech. You guys get really upset about that. Justin has a high tolerance to dangerous substances. I don't imbibe as many substances as I did back in my 20s. That's for sure. I wouldn't even if someone I'm very much a guy that is going to talk to you about proper dosage and making sure that you're properly hydrated while doing drugs. So if I were to be given some drugs, I definitely wouldn't be doing my 10, 15 year ago dosage if I was doing them now. I know better than that, because that's how you die. A lot of ODs are like somebody like G.G. Allen. He went to jail, like he was in jail for 6-8 months or something like that, and he came out and he was banging the same amount of heroin he was doing before he went in. You can't fucking do that. You got to work your way back up to that shit. You're in here, Yelra. I constantly hear this from idiot-ass right-wingers. You guys come in here and you'll type in the chat. But then when everybody's like, well, get in the Discord or call in, you're like, no, I'm too busy. I've got something else to do. Every fucking time. It's weird that you got plenty of fucking time to type as much as you want, but you won't actually talk to us. Because it makes it a hell of a lot easier to have a conversation. And it's also, this audio goes out to a podcast as well. So it's not as fun for listeners of the audio and that's one of the reasons why I try to like give an example of who I'm responding to and what they said. Yeah, don't do heroin, people, unless you're thinking about shooting up a school. Because remember, kids, shoot up drugs, not schools. You can't tell me that's not good advice. You want to participate in the show, you got to get in the chat. You can't respond to me in real life. They can't hear you. Heroin's not fun? I wouldn't know. Of all the drugs I've done, I've never done. I am scared to death of needles. I'm scared to death of like any medical shit. And yes, I am vaxxed. I'm vaccinated. I put on my big boy pants and I go get my vaccinations when I need to. But I ain't putting a needle into my arm recreationally. That ain't happening. But if I ever came across like the smokable form of heroin, I probably would try it out just to see, because I have done most drugs. I mean, I've smoked crack. I didn't like it very much, but I've smoked crack. No. Ooh. Yeah, I would assume that that's a too high of a dosage if it made you vomit. Then again, it could just be your body reacting to it for the first time. Yeah, I'm not a needle fan, but as I said, I will put my big boy pants on and do what I gotta do. Go get vaccinated. And it wasn't that bad. What the fuck, Yelra says. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Hey, Justin, are you trolling?
Always be trolling. Always be trolling. But at least I never got hooked on crack, unlike America's favorite pillow salesman.
I was on crack.
Right. Well,
Yes, every time I say that, I don't have Glengarry Glen Ross in my head. I have that skit from SNL where Alec Baldwin fucks up the he's like always be closing. That's it. Yeah, always be closing. He says always be closing. He's like, no, always be cobbling, always be cobbling. And it cracks me up that he fucked it up. I've also never seen Glengarry Glen Ross, but I've seen that scene. In one of my film classes, we dissected that scene for some reason. So I've seen the scene. And everybody in the class that had seen the movie said, yeah, don't watch it. That's the best scene. Because everybody was like, oh, that was really cool. Everybody was like, yeah, the rest of the movie's not that good. Like, okay, fair enough. So I've never seen Glengarry Glen Ross, though that one scene did indeed compel me to want to watch it at the time. Some people are in the chat like, what in the fuck are you talking about? Went from SNL to some shit you watched in a film class. The SNL skit is like a Christmas special, and like I tend to watch it every year because it's on like the SNL best of Christmas shit. They play it every time. It's like Rachel Dratch as an elf and shit. It's really cute. And Alec Baldwin is like the head elf or some shit. Or some consultant they brought in. Sweaty balls. Yeah, oh my god. So he is involved in multiple classic holiday episodes. Alec Baldwin makes appearances in multiple of the best of Christmas episodes. My favorite skit might be Will Ferrell on the like where he's doing like the Goulet shit, Robert Goulet shit. And he's on the platform, and it makes him sick, and he's like vomiting and still trying to sing it, spinning it. I think it's going too fast. Oh shit! Yeah, I didn't appreciate Will Ferrell enough back when he was in his prime. Cause he wasn't one of my favorite cast members on SNL. Who's DMing who? What? Amnestic. Did you get DM from somebody? I got a DM from somebody. Somebody tell me about the moon and like some kind of astrological. No. Of course Ben Jerome is being weird. Why wouldn't Ben Jerome be weird? Of course Ben Jerome is being weird. I wouldn't expect anything less. Oh, for those of you tuning in, we did indeed have breaking news that we were covering. It was the hearing. I didn't get a PM. Did I get one on Discord? I did, but it wasn't from Ben. It was from Warlord. By the way, I was right on the Troll Patrol last night. Oh, you might. We'll hop in there. Hold on, I don't think anybody's hearing you, but I'm hearing you. It's the craziest goddamn thing. Hold on one sec. Oh, what did I do? I had an update the other Windows update fucked all my shit up. So Discord seems to be fucked up. And
wait, there we go.
Okay,
I had my
settings.
volume low too, so I wasn't open.
Settings should be okay. Everybody can hear you now, Phoebe, and you can hear me. Everybody's good.
Now we're just waiting for fucking Ben.
Who?
Ben Jerome, that motherfucker from chat.
Oh, Ben Jerome's coming. Okay.
Yeah, that's Doe in Discord chat.
Oh, I see.
Ooh.
Here we go. Are you handling this one? Because if so, I'll go get some milk and I'll eat my candy corn.
Sure, why not?
Handle it.
I'll just kick him in case if he starts saying slurs, so you don't get banned. Oh, by the way, you're kind of muted. There you go. Are you there? You. Ben, you good? You got a mic? What? Wait, what?
Oh, did he bail?
He unmuted, was just chilling. Wait, nah, it's not working. Okay, apparently.
You don't know how to operate technology is what's going on.
Yeah,
not you, Phoebe. You know how to operate technology.
Oh yeah, no.
Doughhead over here is an idiot, though.
Well, no. Well, you see, some might disagree considering how the how long the pronoun bot took to work.
No, some of that shit is complicated. I totally understand. That's why I trusted you to do it, because I probably wouldn't have figured it out. No, dude, you're right wing because you're dumb. You're not dumb because you're right wing. You've got the cause and effect the wrong way.
The causality has been reversed. What the fuck is this, Star Trek?
All right. I'm gonna wrap this up because I gotta get prepared for the real show.
Yeah, I'll get the fuck out of here.
BB, you rock. Always a pleasure. Doe, you're an idiot. You're an idiot right winger, and right wingers are morons. Oh shit. If you guys don't usually partake upon my stream, my name is Justin FREAKIN. I do the news at 8 p.m. Eastern, Sunday through Thursday. On Friday nights, I do a comedy show called the Friday Night Freak Show at 10 p.m. Eastern. Today on the Troll Patrol, we're going to be talking about Rochelle Walensky's shakeup at CDC. Alan Weisselberg has pleaded guilty, is facing 15 years in prison if he doesn't tell the whole truth about what he knows about the Trump org. Alex Jones ruling. There's been a ruling in the Alex Jones defamation case out of Connecticut. Oh, and the breaking news today was that hold on, I'll even get the story up for you guys. Yeah, let's go over that one more time. We were here for the hearing to unseal the affidavit in the Trump FBI Mar-a-Lago the Trump FBI Mar-a-Lago search. The judge has indicated a willingness to release a redacted version of the affidavit. Judge Reinhold gave the DOJ 1 week to present I know. He's dead. They gave him 1 week. Gave the DOJ 1 week to present a redacted version of the affidavit. And if the judge agrees, they will release that. That will happen next Thursday. Mike Pence has condemned Republicans' attacks on the FBI over the Trump surge. Alan Weisselberg, the Trump Organization financial chief, pleads guilty to tax fraud. That's a lot of what we're going to be talking about tonight. Magistrate signals willingness to partially unseal Mar-a-Lago affidavit. Bruce Reinhart says he's inclined to partially unseal the Trump Mar-a-Lago affidavit, instructs the DOJ to file a redacted affidavit by next Thursday at noon, and be prepared to explain the redactions. If he agrees with the redactions, they will release the affidavit, which, as I said, this is unprecedented. They don't usually release affidavits at this moment in time, but this is an unprecedented situation. I made mention of this last night on the Troll Patrol. I was like, if they do release it, it's possible they will release it like with redactions, and it looks like that's what's going to happen. So even I surprise myself with my predictions sometimes. Because believe me, don't trust me, I'm an idiot on most things. I can usually recall facts about politics, but even that I'm a little murky on at times. I do a news channel, but always, verify. Trust, but verify, as Ronald Reagan said. I can't do my usual outro of an afternoon because I tell you to have a good night and go to bed and all that good shit. So I actually end streams that I do of an afternoon with my ending that I do when I'm doing stand-up comedy on stage, which is don't do anything I wouldn't do. Oh, wait a minute. I haven't teed you guys up to rate a channel yet. I don't even know who's on. I'm never on at this time. Oh, 5 of you. I'll take 5 of you over to the channel. Oh, Hildebeest. Oh, Hildebeest is not doing politics, though. Let's do Base of PJ, who is doing politics. Love Hildebeest. But she's playing a video game right now. I try to kind of stick with the political streamers. So, don't do anything I wouldn't do. Yes, I do stand up. You're on my YouTube channel. There are videos of me doing stand up on my YouTube channel. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. However, that doesn't limit your options very much at all. We will see you tonight on the Troll Patrol Live at 7 p.m. Eastern. 8 p.m. I fucked my own time up. 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific.